Hi, welcome back to the channel. This video is about how to get started in data science and analytics with a non-tech background. You may be one of the people that's considering whether this could be a good career choice for you. Given the earning potential and opportunities, the interest in data science and analytics is only increasing with the rise of AI. And it can be intimidating to think about, especially if you have a non-tech background. So in this video, I'm going to cover my recommendations if you have a slight tech background or math background, my recommendations if you have a non-tech background, how to have an edge and be competitive, and the importance of building project portfolios.
I'm Dr. Christy. I'm a researcher and a data science director, and I help analysts and data scientists take their career to the next level.
Let's get into it. So what if you have a slight tech background or a math background? How do I recommend jumping into the field of data science and analytics? So basically, if you've had a lot of quantitative classes like statistics or math background, it's going to be an easier transition for you versus people that don't have that background. But you are going to have to learn a couple of things in order to be competitive with people that have a master's in data science or are coming from a computer science background, because the field has moved so much in that direction. You are going to have to think about how to be competitive with them. So one of the key areas is coding. So when you have a graduate degree, PhD in a field, you may have a quantitative background. Maybe there was coding, maybe there wasn't. That's a basic skill that you're going to have to learn and get really good at, because you're going to need to pull data from different databases using SQL. You're going to code to data processing. You're going to use it for analytics, which you should have a strength in already. But writing SQL and pulling data yourself, those are not typically skills that you have to learn when you're in graduate school. So you do have to plan how you're going to pick up that skill. The other area is things like machine learning models. So especially if you had statistics courses, you're going to want to think of how to develop expertise with machine learning models. So I do think this is a harder path, especially because the field has changed so much in the past 15 years that I've been working. Initially, there was statisticians, which is what we were doing, and it was pretty straightforward. And then as the field has developed, that's where we saw the rise of masters in data science and computer science, and things started really moving in that direction. And in order to be competitive, you do need to either go ahead and get a master's in data science or figure out how you're going to get these other skills. So specifically coding and machine learning models. So there's different options. There are really great boot camps that you can do, which are very intense. You can also do some of those self-paced things like Udemy or Coursera. The boot camp would be a little bit more rigorous. And then of course, the more you want to go with that, if you want to get a master's, if you want to do anything along those lines, it's just going to make it easier for you to transition. You can still do it like I did. It's fine. It's just a little bit harder. And what I'll talk about later in the video is what are the other areas that you're going to want to focus on and bring to the table so that you do have a competitive edge with other people that are coming from a computer science background. So what if you have a completely non-tech background? So no math, no statistics. You absolutely still can do it, but you'll want to make sure that you're actually interested and have aptitude. But for this case, I really am going to recommend that you go ahead and get a master's in data science or computer science, something along those lines, because you are wanting to be competitive with people who have that background. And when you have a completely non-tech background, you just need something that's going to give you that credibility and that validity when you're applying for jobs. So you can do it part-time while you're working. There's just so many different options for how to get it done. There's different price points, and I'm going to make a video about that soon. It's absolutely doable if this is something that you're interested in. But I would recommend starting out just right away with some of these self-paced classes like Udemy and Coursera, so that you can get familiar, you can get practice going, and really see if this is something that you actually are interested in. And it's also going to provide you with the prerequisites and prep work that you need in order to apply and actually get accepted into some of these programs. But the other thing I want to say is, suppose you find that you don't actually like all of that coding and machine learning models, but you're still interested to move in a quantitative direction. That's definitely still a field, and there are openings for research or analytics. When you read the description, it is focused on like research and testing hypotheses and using data but it's not a computer science role and it doesn't require that sort of background, and you're still going to love it. It's still going to have a really good salary and all those other things that you're interested in. So you absolutely can do it if you're interested. Hi, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It's really helpful as I'm a brand new channel getting started and it makes a huge impact. Let's get back to the video. So how do you have an edge over the people that are having a tech background, a computer science background? There's a couple of things that you want to bring as strengths because you do have a different background. These are things you're actually going to be naturally stronger in than people that are having the tech background. And so you'll want to bring these to the table as additional things and additional strengths that you have that other candidates just don't have or don't do as well as you. So what are they? The most important one, and my most favorite thing in general, scoping skills. So scoping analytics or data science project is huge. Like if you can do that well, you're able to hear a problem, scope out a project, and then execute it and deliver it, and you're measuring an ROI, impact of it. You have mock-ups, like that whole scoping. So if you haven't seen earlier videos that I've done, I'm gonna link them here somewhere. It's key, and if you're coming from a research background or a non-tech background, you're probably naturally inclined to have this as a strength versus others. The better you get, the stronger of a candidate that you are going to come across as. The second is technical explanations. Being able to explain technical concepts to non-technical audiences in a way that's easy, user-friendly, it doesn't turn them off, you don't come across as condescending, but you are able to be clear and explain it and then get their feedback is amazing. Like if you can do that, you're going to knock all the other candidates out. You're going to be highly competitive. And kind of related to that is presentations. So even though it seems like, oh, that's like soft skills, these skills are the ones that when you are interviewing candidates, the ones that come with these skills are the ones that rise to the top, because everybody's coming in with a certain level of technical proficiency. Some might be better than others, but when people bring this to the table, that's a whole different level. Actually, those skills are harder to work on and develop if you don't have them. Relative to the tech skills, it's easier to learn them and start using them. This is my favorite stuff. I love to talk about it. Please check out my other videos where I talk more about the specifics of it. I'd love to hear in the comments if there are areas that you would like to learn more about or would like more videos on. Let me know. The fourth step is building a project portfolio. It's helpful to understand, like, why do hiring teams want that? How do they view it? What they don't want when they hire, for example, a new grad or somebody that's recently joined the field, or even if they have some work experience. What they don't want is like some theoretical person has some training, took classes, but they can't actually execute the work when they start working for you. So if you don't have experience, you have these projects that you can share where you can illustrate, these are the projects that I worked on, or if you're coming in with some experience, you can say these are the projects I really did on a real job, or you're coming in saying these are some projects that I did in my spare time. But either way, you want to be strategic about the projects that you choose. You want to pick projects and you want to talk about them in such a way that it helps the hiring team understand that when they hire you, you'll be able to do that for them as soon as you're hired. So you'll want to talk about like data challenges you had, areas that you had to come up with a creative solution, a creative workaround, how you pushed towards the conclusion even when it wasn't easy, like all these things that are going to help demonstrate that this is the kind of worker you'll be once you're on the team. What is not helpful is like these cookie cutter projects that are very popular that, you know, you go online and you download this really clean data set and they just like run one model and then that's it. It's like that Titanic data set everybody's seen. I've interviewed people where they come and that's their example of a project that they did on their own is this Titanic data. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is there was a problem, you scoped out a project, you pulled the data, you were creative about developing and brainstorming data points, you have hypotheses, you test them, you have a model, you mock it up, you have a deliverable, you measure the ROI. So again, I have the videos linked, but those key processes in a project, and you can demonstrate that you have done that, whether as part of your job or on your own, and you're really going to make that case that if they hire you, that's what you'll do for them. That's why it's super helpful. So that's it for today. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.